المصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون. It could mean ويل للمصلين الذين هم عن معنى وحقيقة صلاتهم ساهون. عن حقيقة الصلاة ساهون. So these are مصلين. So we're talking about مصلين. So people who are actually praying. And doesn't mean this prayer, these 5 prayers, necessarily. Any form of praying. So woe or waylun means how losers are. The best translation to be how. I know that the common translation will be waylun is a river in the hell, etc. If you drink from it, this will happen and that will happen. So that's a very metaphorical description. But let us understand what whale. Arab people, they use the word whale to say like they are lost. Those people are lost, or they are losers, basically. How losers are? Al-Musallin, those who got to actually pray. They got to put their hands on the treasure. They got to put their hands on the treasure. They are praying. They got salat here in the meaning of dua. The essence of salat. Salat means a dua. Even the salat is a dua. The essence of the salat is dua, is praying, is to talk to God. So, how losers are those who got this opportunity to talk to God? They are musalli. How losers are those people who got this opportunity to talk to God, yet they are not conscious of the reality, of the deep meaning, of the wealth that is in that treasure of the salat, of talking to God. They are sahun an haqiqat salat, the essence. They are so unconscious. They are so unconscious of the reality of the salat, of the value of the salat, of the importance of the salat, or the depth of the salat. So they are just saying words, Ya Rabb, Ya Rabb, Ya Rabb, but he's not living the reality of the prayers. And then there is a continuity. Who are those people? So it's not. Who are those people? الذين يراؤون ويمنعون الماعون. Those who show off, those who do things just they are not honest with other people. They are not transparent with other people. They do things just to show off, just to feel superior, or to show that they are better than other people. ويمنعون الماعون, and who do not help other people. And subhanallah, here there is a beautiful meaning. So salat, yes, it means prayer, but it also means connection. So how losers are those who are trying to connect to God without and while neglecting their connection to people. How losers are those who are trying or pretending to try to connect to the divine, to build a connection with the divine, while ignoring the connection with their brothers and sisters, the connection with the other. Because how are you going to connect to God? The best form, in the best way of connecting to God, is to connecting to His people. الراحمون يرحمهم الرحمن ارحموا من في الأرض يرحمكم من في السماء. Show rahmah to people, Allah will show rahmah to you. If you want to connect to Allah, you connect to His khalq. هو the khalq. هو is the door to haqq. You cannot be mean to people and then be successful in a relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So how losers are those who trying to relate to God, trying to connect, to build a connection with God, while in the same time they are neglecting sahuna, or unconscious, or neglectful, negligent. While they are negligent and neglectful when it comes to their relationship with the others, عن صلاتهم سهون, the essence, they are not taking care of their connections with others. So they are fake. يراؤون. What is riya? It's to be fake, called showing off. It's fakeness. Those who are fake when they come with other people, smile, but riya, they are fake. Even when they do something good, it's just out of fakeness. It's all about them. They are not relating to the other. They are prisoners of their own image. They are prisoners of their own self-perception, their perception of. وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَعُونَ, and they do not actually reach out. They do not give a hand to the other. يَمْنَعُونَ الْمَعُونَ. They don't give hand to others. They don't help. So here, they are musallin, so they pray. They are establishing a ritual. They are celebrating the rituals to connect to the divine, while they are not. It doesn't have any impact in their lives. They are not accompanying that with actually a true connection with people. And that leads us to even the meaning of religion, because one of the translations of salat is religion. More than, because deen does not translate to religion. Deen is duty. Dain is debt. Deen is duty. So it's the duty. Inna deen ala Islam. The duty of the human is the main duty of the human being is to search, and to find, and to choose to be in harmony with God. To search and find and choose that harmony with the divine. That's Inna deen ala Islam. But religion, it's like a relation. It comes from relier. And that's the literal meaning of salat. Wasala, salla, yusalli, wasala, yasilu. To connect, to relate. And it has two meanings. Why religion is called religion? Because it connects you to Allah and connects you to the other. To the people who are embracing that religion. So it brings people together. Religion brings people together around that connection with the divine. So both. So those, subhanAllah, it's vertical and horizontal. So how losers are those who are trying to establish a vertical relationship with the divine while ignoring and neglecting the simple opportunities that are there. Just smile to your brother and you are establishing the best connection with God. Just give hand to your brother, and it is even much better for you than making i'tikaf 70 days, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says. وَيْلٌ لِلْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَاهُونَ الَّذِينَ يُرَاءُونَ وَيَمْنَعُونَ الْمَاعُونَ. In the context, it came talking about it was revealed, Wallahu a'lam, about the people of Mecca. In the beginning, they were musallin, they were praying. They were saying labbaik Allahumma labbaik. They would make tawaf around the Kaaba. They would say ya Rabb, ya Rabb, ya Rabb. They would be praying. But in the same time, it's just an empty prayer. It's not really establishing a true connection with God. And the crisis shows through their behavior. The crisis in their connection with God shows through their behavior. Look at them. They are yura'un wa yamna'un al-ma'un. So had it been a true connection with God that they have been nurturing and building and nourishing, it would have shown on their behavior, on their attitude. It would have had an impact on them, how they deal with others. Otherwise. وما كان صلاتهم عند البيت. So you can connect this verse to another verse. وما كان صلاتهم عند البيت إلا مكاء وتصدية. Their salat around the Kaaba is just noise. It's just muka'an wa tasdiyah, just empty words basically. It's not sifting and clapping people. They said, oh, it's no. It's not about the. You can connect to God if you want through clapping. So the problem is not the form. The problem is basically their prayers were void of meaning. Maybe they were. You can recite if you want the Sahifa Sujadiyya. You may recite the best, the deepest Hizb al-Bahar. You may recite whatever dua you want. But Al-Fatiha, the best of all the prayers. But if your heart is not there, it's muka'an wa tasdiyah. It's just noise. It's just noise. Tasdiyah. Now the mic makes sada, right? Tasdiyah. It's like that. It's empty. Oh, echo. Tasdiyah means echoing. Their prayers just echo and just empty noise. So they are an salatihim sahun. So all these meanings. ويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين يراءون ويمنعون الماعون. And before that قال أرأيت الذي يكذب بالدين فذلك الذي يدعو اليتيم. So two meanings there. Don't you see the person who is denying his duty towards the divine? يكذب بالدين. He's denying his duty towards the divine. Don't you see this person who's denying his duty towards the divine? Don't you see that in the same time, that person who is rejecting this invitation that you are giving him, Ya Muhammad, to reconnect with God, don't you see that that same person who is rejecting you, don't you see that that same person who is rejecting you, rejecting the message of Haqq, rejecting the invitation that you are giving him, don't you see that it is the same person that rejects and pushes away the orphan and does not encourage and does not share and does not even encourage people to share? Don't you see that there is a crisis in his morality? At the basis, at the foundation of the crisis of his spirituality, the fact that he's denying, the fact that he's rejecting this invitation, the fact that he's denying his duty towards the divine, the fact that he's refusing to find and to choose harmony with God, that's a spiritual crisis. Don't you see that at the foundation of his spiritual crisis, there is a moral crisis? Basically, this whole surah, Surah Ad-Din, I like it because it's very beautiful, because it shows us the connection between the spirituality and the morality. What's morality? People today, they have the wrong definition of morality. People today, they think morality is to pray, to fast. No. Morality has nothing to do with that. Morality is summarized is in there is one morality. Since Adam, all the way to the last human on earth. Don't do to others what you don't want others to do to you. That's morality. Morality is always about dealing with others. Morality is always about dealing with others. So immoral action would be hurting, would be cheating, would be not respecting the other, would be wasting the time of other, wasting the money of other, not showing up for for your appointment when you give an appointment. All of that, yes, that's lack of morality. But for example, someone who's drinking wine, that's not an immoral action necessarily. He's just doing. That's lack of hygiene of life. That's lack of discipline. He's not hurting anyone. Immorality is, look in the Quran, immorality is, look at him. قال يدع اليتيم ولا يحض على طعام المسكين. Rejecting, like being harsh with the orphan. No, that's immorality. And he's not sharing, and he's not encouraging people to share. from their wealth, and to feed the poor, the miskin, the handicapped, the miskin.
But you can have connection to the divine.
Yeah.
And have morality.
Mhm.
That's the perfect combination. Right?
Yes.
You can have a connection with divine, but no morality, and this is not enough.
You can try to have connection to the divine.
It's not gonna
Without morality, it's not going to work. That's what the
you
surah
can have
says.
morality without connection to the divine.
It will help you. That morality will lead you
Right.
to a connection with the divine, even unconsciously.
Right.
The morality without attempt to spirituality is healthier than attempting the spirituality
Without
while neglecting morality.
right.
Morality.
We see here, right? We see
Absolutely. All the religions, all the people of religions, why they have chosen this, why they have created religions? People created religions. I mean, I'm talking about the religions that people created, including the Islam of today. It's a creation of. Why people created religions? They created religions to escape their obligations of morality. Okay, I'm in that club, then I don't need to have taqwa anymore. That's what we said in the khutbah. This is people. No, there is nothing that can replace the taqwa. That quest for God, that searching for God, needs to be always alive. Otherwise, there is no frame that can replace the reality. So people, they choose these frames and create these clubs and etc. They hasten to that because, oh yeah, then I'm good. I belong to that group. I belong to that group, Al-Furqa Najiyah, the saved group. I belong to that religion. That's the best religion. That's the good religion. I'm a student of that Shaykh. He's the Qutb, he's the Ghawth, he's whatever. I'm a student of that Tariqah. It is the best Tariqah on earth. Whatever. I'm Sunni. I'm Shia. I'm Muslim. I'm Christian. I'm from that group. So then I'm saved. They rush to that, and then they neglect the foundation, the morality. You find the majority of people who become obsessed with religious belonging. They are very neglectful when it comes to morality, and this surah of ad-Din is about them. Actually, it's called Surah ad-Din. Huh? It's called Surah ad-Din. So listen, that's what Deen is. Deen is about others. Duty. You cannot respect and honor your duty towards the divine while neglecting your duties towards your your brothers and sisters. إنما الدين المعاملة. The hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the best tafsir for the surah. إنما الدين المعاملة. The deen, the essence of deen is but transaction. How do you transact with people? How do you deal with people? How do you behave with people? Your transaction with people, that's a deen. That's how I weigh your deen. You may pray 70 rak'at per day, but if you cheat, if you lie, if you backbite, if you show me one face, and then you say something else in my back, you may pray how many prayers you want. You may. الدين المعاملة. الدين المعاملة. الدين المعاملة. And that whole also division that the fuqaha, it's not the Prophet who made, by the way. The fuqaha made between ibadat and muamalat. And they created that hierarchy. Ibadat come first, and then muamalat come next. And they base this on what? أول ما يسأل عنه العبد يوم القيامة. Okay, let us go back to Surah Ad-Din to find what is as-salat. فويل للمصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون. Yes, indeed. The first thing that the person will be asked about the Day of Judgment is as-salat. It means what? His relations. His relations. His relations. Indigenous people here, they have their prayer. At the end, they say, to all my relations. Because that's what it is. The first thing that the person will be asked about the Day of Judgment, and that makes perfect sense. Because why would Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first thing that will ask me the Day of Judgment about is my 5 prayers? Doesn't make sense. As-salat. As-salat, it means in the salat, how it is defined in Surah Ad-Din. وَإِلَى الْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ عَنْ صَلَاتِهِمْ سَهُونَ. That salat. What is that salat? Their relationship with others. So how losers are those who pray, attempt a spiritual connection with the divine, attempt to approach the spirituality while neglecting the morality. Attempt to approach spirituality, they attempt to connect to the divine while ignoring and neglecting completely their duties towards the other human being. They are harsh towards, they're abusive, they are whatever, or they don't feel their pain, they don't care about them, etc. Just he's praying, whatever. قال امرأة تؤذي ولكنها تصلي وتصوم ولكنها تؤذي جيرانها. قال في النار. When he was told about this lady who was praying and fasting, but she was mean to her neighbors. The Prophet ﷺ, he says she's actually in the هي في النار. It means she's suffering. It means that reality is not a happy reality. It's what a sad reality. هي في النار. I mean, we have to understand, we have to be smart when we translate the words of Rasulullah ﷺ. Just, it's not, oh, she's burning in the hell. No, what a sad reality. What a sad state. What a miserable state. No, she's not happy. That's a miserable state of the soul. Because it's happening here and now. That's a miserable state of the soul. And when he was told about this person just doing very little when it comes to rituals, when it comes to attempt of the spiritual, but she was good with people. What beautiful reality. هي في الجنة. هي في الجنة. So relations. As-salat, yes. And then it makes sense. The first thing that will be asked about is our relations. Our relationships. Our relations. Our relations with others. Yeah? Because that's a salat that we shouldn't be sahun anha. That's the salat that we should not neglect. Our morality. The first thing that will be asked about is our morality. Did we hurt people? Did we take the right of people? Did we take the money of people? Did we lie to people? Did we, etc., etc., etc. And he gave us the main examples. How were we with orphans? How were we with poor and handicapped were we real or fake with people? Were we reaching out and helping and giving a hand, or stingy and no, I only care about my little self and my little family and my little thing? May Allah protect us. No. So that hierarchy, unfortunately, many things that our Salaf created, and okay, maybe it was good in their time, they were trying to do something good. There is no asl in the Quran nor in the Sunnah of that. Why on earth would you create that hierarchy? From where you brought that hierarchy, that ibadat are loftier than muamalat? Actually, it's lack of intelligence. Why would you create that dichotomy? Because, that's haqqullah first and then haqqul ibad. No, who tells you that? Actually, if we are smart enough and we follow the hadith, Allah forgives his haqq. If we are talking about haqqullah, basically if we are talking about ibadat is something between us and Allah, whatever between us and Allah, Allah forgives. But whatever between us and the ibad, Allah won't forgive unless that person that you have hurt forgives. So, which one should we pay attention more to? Clearly, mu'amalat, loftier than the ibadat. That hierarchy does not stand. Doesn't make any sense. If we need to make a hierarchy, mu'amalat first. But actually there is no hierarchy. You know why? Because there is no true ibadah without good mu'amalah. There is no true ibadah. There is no true... What's ibadah? Ibadah is journeying towards God. It's the spiritual attempt. It's spirituality. That's what ibadah is. It's spirituality. Is trying to establish a spiritual connection with the divine. That's what ibadah is. There is no truth to that. There is no success in that. There is no reality to that in that attempt to connect to the divine, if your relationships and if your relationships with others are miserable, are miserable because of you, it doesn't mean that.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that if you have enemies, you may have enemies. I mean, look how many enemies did Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam have? Was any animosity there because of him? No, he was always praying for people, reaching out, etc. People rejected him and left him. That's their choice. They will be asked about that, not him. And but we need to really think about that. Well, how are we doing with others? First, morality. Those who want to build spirituality without morality, they're trying to attempt something with no foundation. Morality, it means that our duties towards others. How are we treating others? How are we talking about others? How are we behaving with others? How are we dealing with others? Our transactions with others. That's the foundation. And people who have good morality, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam praised them. Al-Muhsinun, they are Al-Muhsinun. That's the meaning of Al-Muhsinun in the Quran. You see, the Sufis, they made ihsan, like the maqam al-ihsan, an ta'budullah ka'annaka tarah. Yes, an ta'budullah ka'annaka tarah. If you want to worship Allah as if you see Him, it means what? I will give you a very simple meaning for that. Because some hadith make them look very, very sophisticated, but actually they are simple. He's telling you worship God as if you see Him. Okay, wait. Based on what I have explained so far. Okay? Ta'bud Allah. So basically, to al-ihsan is أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه. Okay. فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. Okay. To worship God as if you see Him. Okay, let us translate it a bit better. To journey, to walk on the path of God, to have this spiritual attempt to connect to God as if you see Him. How? Through seeing you. أن أعبد الله فيك. أن أعبد الله فيك. أن أعبد الله فيك. أن أعبد الله فيك. أن أتق الله فيك. That's أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه. تتق الله في الناس. الإحسان هو أن تتق الله في الخلق. هذا المعنى الإحسان. تتق الله في الخلق. تعبد الله في الناس. بالمعنى journey, walk to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through your behavior with people, through transacting with people. That's أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه. فإن لم تكن تراه فإنه يراك. That's it. The same thing that to watch Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in your transactions with people. That's what ihsan, and that's the meaning that everyone knows about ihsan. Say ihsan, muhsin. Good man, good people. That's morality, a moral person. That's the definition of the universal morality. A moral person, that's it, that's muhsin. And لَيْسَ عَلَى الْمُحْسِنِينَ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran. Those people who are moral, people who have a good level of morality, the good people, we won't be difficult with them. لَيْسَ عَلَيْهِمْ مِنْ سَبِيلٍ. Good people, just even Allah is telling us good people, be easy on them. If they sleep, if they do this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you think, how is it? The same. Why you think that clearly we know it. I mean, امرأة من بني بغي. She needed to sell her body to eat. Okay? What? I mean, selling the body. She was sleeping with different people every day. Think about it. She went to Jannah because she gave a dog to drink. Why? Because that's ihsan. That's ihsan. That is al-ihsan. That's أن تعبد الله كأنك تراه. Because she saw Allah in that. She saw God in that dog. She saw God in that dog. That's what it means. She honored God through giving water to that dog. She did not see the difference. It's God. People of dichotomy. Woe to them. How losers are the people of duality. How losers are people of dichotomy. That's how I understand Surah Ad-Din. How losers are those who insist on remaining in the perception of duality. How losers are people who insist on that dichotomy between Allah and His ibad. Insist on that dichotomy between al-haq and al-khalq. How losers are those people who think that they can please the haq while cheating the khalq. Who think that they can connect to the haq, to Allah, while neglecting and hurting the creation of Allah. How losers are those people? That's what ويل المصلين الذين هم عن صلاتهم ساهون الذين هم يراءون يمنعون الماعون. That's the meaning of it. والله ورسوله أعلم. Allah bless you, inshallah.
Thank you.